Peppa Pig and the Mysterious Footprints. Peppa and George are running and playing when Peppa suddenly stops and looks down at the ground. On the grass, small round footprints appear, forming a line. George curiously bends down to take a closer look, his eyes wide with wonder. Daddy Pig is watering the plants nearby and hasn't noticed yet. Peppa signals to George, and the two of them follow the footprints. Mummy Pig appears, holding a basket, and smiles when she sees the two children crouching down. The footprints lead to a small puddle in the garden. Peppa and George look around, feeling a little surprised. Peppa and George look down, then look at Daddy Pig. Peppa realizes the footprints are Daddy Pig's, from when he watered the garden earlier. It ends with Peppa and George laughing happily. Peppa Pig and the Mountain of Bubbles. Today, Mummy Pig is washing the car, and Peppa and George discover lots of bubbles. Wow, look at that! A giant mountain of bubbles! Oh dear, Daddy Pig looks so funny as a bubble snowman. Playing with bubbles is fun, but playing together is the best fun of all. Peppa Pig in the flower basket. The garden in front of Peppa's house, with gentle sunshine. A small basket is placed on the grass. Peppa bends down to look at the basket and smiles. George stands beside her, curiously looking into the basket. Peppa gently picks a flower nearby. Peppa places the flower into the basket. George points to another flower. Peppa and George pick a few more small flowers. The flower basket slowly fills up. Peppa sits down and admires the flower basket. George giggles. Mommy Pig stands nearby, and all three are happy together. It was a bright, breezy morning in Peppa's backyard. As Peppa wandered around, she spotted a colorful umbrella lying forgotten in the corner of the garden. Peppa curiously picked it up, wondering what fun she could have with it. Suddenly, a big gust of wind blew. The umbrella opened wide, lifting Peppa off the ground. She squealed in surprise. Up in the sky, Peppa floated and twirled like a pink bird with a rainbow wing. The wind carried her over the yard, spinning in circles, dipping and soaring. Down below, Mummy Pig, Daddy Pig, and George gasped, then burst into laughter as they watched Peppa's unexpected flight show. The wind slowed down, and Peppa landed gently on the soft grass. Her family rushed over as Peppa waved with a big smile.
The magical fishing rod. Today, Peppa and George discover a shiny fishing rod in the garden. Peppa decides to give it a try, but instead of a fish, the rod hooks an old muddy shoe. Now it's George's turn. This time, the rod pulls up a toy duck that goes quack, quack. Together, they give one last pull, and to their surprise, the rod brings up a basket full of colorful balloons. It turns out this fishing rod isn't for catching fish, it's for catching happiness.
Peppa Pig and the Giant Paper Crane. Yahoo! After the rain, a small stream appears in the yard, drawing Peppa and George's curiosity. Wow! A giant glowing paper crane floats toward them like magic. It lifts them gently into a magical journey around the garden. It carries them through a star-filled universe with shimmering planets. At the end, it brings them home and shrinks into Peppa's hand like a mysterious gift. A day at home without Mom and Dad. This morning, Mummy Pig is getting ready to go to work. She reminds the kids, "Peppa, George, be good while I'm gone." Both of them reply cheerfully, "Yes, Mummy." In the living room, Daddy Pig is also getting ready to leave for a while. He bends down and says, "I'll be back soon." Remember, don't open the door for strangers. When Mummy and Daddy leave, the house suddenly feels so quiet. The two start playing happily, laughing all around the house. But oh no, toys are everywhere, crayons rolling on the floor, pillows flying onto the sofa. Today, Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig come home after a fun day out. Before going inside, Mommy Pig places a star-shaped hat, just like a wizard's hat, on a chair. George has just woken up and is still feeling sleepy. He slowly walks toward the door. Peppa notices the strange hat and picks it up. Suddenly, the hat floats up and gently lands on Peppa's head. Peppa laughs happily and runs outside. Seeing this, George quickly runs after her. Peppa and the Little Picnic. Peppa holds a small basket and looks around the grass. Peppa spreads the picnic blanket on the ground. George runs over, carrying a toy food box. Peppa smiles happily. Peppa sits down and puts the food on the blanket. Peppa pretends to eat and nods happily. George copies her and pretends to eat too. They both laugh together. Peppa lies on her back and looks up at the sky. George lies down next to Peppa. They watch the clouds slowly drifting by. Peppa and George smile and relax. Peppa and the Snowy Day. One winter morning, Big Sister Peppa was sitting in her room, happily singing to herself. Suddenly, little Peppa ran in and shouted, "Sister, the yard is covered with snow." Hearing that, Big Sister Peppa excitedly grabbed her sister's hand and rushed outside. In front of them was a wide yard, all white with snow, piled up into little hills. They climbed up high, then giggled as they slid down, leaving long tracks on the white snow. Their laughter echoed through the yard, making the cold day feel warm and joyful. As the weather grew colder and their bodies tired, the two sisters happily went back home, still smiling at the fun they had in the snow. Peppa and George's treasure hunt. Today is a beautiful day. Peppa finds an old treasure map under a tree. And George quickly runs over to join the adventure. The two siblings follow the first red X, splashing through puddles while carefully holding the map against the wind. In the forest, Peppa leads the way, while George points at the symbols on the map. Falling leaves swirl around them, making the journey feel even more magical. Peppa and George climb up the slippery grass hill, sliding down a bit and giggling, but still determined to reach the top. Under a big tree, they discover a small chest. Inside are old toys the two had lost before. Peppa and George happily hug their rediscovered treasure. Peppa's birthday. The sunshine is so bright this morning. Yahoo! Today is Peppa's birthday. The whole family is getting ready for a big surprise. Mummy Pig hangs balloons, Daddy Pig brings the cake, and George hides a little present. The house is filled with colors and the sweet smell of cake. Peppa jumps up and down with joy. All her friends come over with gifts and laughter. The garden is alive with balloons, flags, and cheerful music. Laughter fills the air. It's a fun and lively birthday party full of smiles. After a great day of playing, Peppa and her friends were exhausted, but everyone had fun. It was a wonderful day. Peppa's Great Ball Chase. Peppa kicks the ball and it rolls down the hill. Yahoo! Peppa and George run after it, but the ball keeps rolling faster. The ball falls into a flower bush, and Peppa crawls in to look for it. George is delighted when he sees Peppa find the ball. The two of them continue playing football in the park. The Dream of Two Siblings. It's a peaceful night. Peppa and George slowly drift into sleep, not knowing that a magical dream is waiting for them. In their dream, Peppa and George can fly. The bubbles lift them up high, gliding through clouds that look like cotton candy. Everything is colorful and full of joy. Here, Peppa and George aren't just siblings. They're brave explorers of the sky. no! But in this dream, even a tumble turns into laughter and fun! The dream may have faded, but the love between Peppa and George shines bright, just like a rainbow in their hearts. Peppa and the sparkly bunny friend. Little Peppa was playing with her stuffed bunny. Big Peppa came over and asked curiously, "Where did you get this, bunny?" Little Peppa smiled and pointed into the distance. The two sisters ran off and discovered a magical scene, a table and chairs made of mooncakes and a big gate guarded by white rabbits. Little Peppa sat on a mooncake chair and pointed to the gate. Big Peppa bravely went inside and soon came back, holding two more lovely stuffed bunnies. The sisters were overjoyed, hugging all their bunnies as they sat together at the mooncake tea table under the gentle moonlight. Yahoo! Wow!
Okay.
Whoa!
Whoa!
A happy morning starts with, a delicious chocolate cake. Oh my, who could resist? But when the baby turned around, oh what? Where did the cake go? The little pig is on a hunt. Under the table, in the fridge, even in his boots? And finally, the cake was right in the hands of the pig, eating deliciously. But don't worry, Piggy has prepared a second portion of cake for you. How sweet! Super fun swimming day. Today is a perfect day for swimming. Peppa and her family are all so excited. Oh, There are so many fun pool toys. A float shaped like a watermelon, another like a big donut. How silly and fun! Ha-ha! George's ball decided to go swimming all by itself. What a memorable swim! Everyone is soaking wet, but they're all laughing happily. And that's how Peppa Pig's swimming day ends, with splashes, giggles, and lots of fun. Peppa Pig and the Little Round Ball. In front of Peppa's house, with gentle sunshine, a small round ball slowly rolls into the yard. Peppa stands and looks, tilting her head curiously. George sits behind, watching the ball. Peppa bends down and gently pushes the ball with her hand. The ball rolls toward George. George happily stands up. George kicks the ball a little too hard, and the ball rolls faster. The ball rolls past Peppa, and Peppa runs after it. From a distance, Daddy Pig watches. Peppa stops the ball. Peppa gently kicks the ball toward George. George catches the ball and laughs loudly. Daddy Pig appears, and the whole family laughs happily. Huh? The Mystery Toy Box. It's a morning just like any other. Until Susie arrives with a mysterious box. No one knows what's inside, but Peppa and George can already feel the excitement bubbling up. It's not candy and it's not dolls. It's a whole miniature construction world. And just like that, a brand new adventure begins for our three little builders. Peppa is the architect, Susie the engineer, and George the most dedicated dump truck driver ever. They work together with laughter and joy. But wait, that tower looks a tiny bit wobbly. With Peppa, George, and Susie, every day is a new adventure, filled with laughter and friendship. Peppa learns about flowers. Today, Peppa and George are going to learn about flowers. They walk into the garden and see many colorful flowers. Peppa points at the bright red roses and says, "These are roses, so beautiful and fragrant." Peppa sees the tall sunflowers, bright yellow, always turning towards the sun. George points at the colorful tulips. They learn that tulips are shaped like little cups. Peppa sees orchids growing on small branches. These flowers are elegant and come in many colors. Peppa and George are very happy to know the names and features of the flowers. They learn that each flower has its own color and shape. How wonderful! Peppa's birthday. The sunshine is so bright this morning. Today is Peppa's birthday. The whole family is getting ready for a big surprise. Mummy Pig hangs balloons, Daddy Pig brings the cake, and George hides a little present. The house is filled with colors and the sweet smell of cake. Peppa jumps up and down with joy. All her friends come over with gifts and laughter. The garden is alive with balloons, flags, and cheerful music. Laughter fills the air. It's a fun and lively birthday party full of smiles. After a great day of playing, Peppa and her friends were exhausted, but everyone had fun. It was a wonderful day. The magical cloud. Inside their little house, Peppa and George were happily playing with their teddy bears. They giggled, hugged their toys. After a while, the weather grew hot, so the two decided to go outside for some fresh air. Magically, the cloud gently scooped up Peppa and George. The two looked wide-eyed in surprise, then burst into laughter as the cloud lifted them higher and higher into the sky. Playground. Today, Peppa and George are going to the playground with their family. Peppa and George love going to the playground with their family. George loves spending time on the slide, going up and down again and again. Peppa and George also love playing on the swings. George is enjoying the swing, while Mummy Pig gently pushes him higher and higher. While George enjoys the swing, Peppa and Daddy Pig head over to buy some ice cream. Peppa Pig and the Mysterious Footprints. Peppa and George are running and playing when Peppa suddenly stops and looks down at the ground. On the grass, small round footprints appear, forming a line. George curiously bends down to take a closer look, his eyes wide with wonder. Daddy Pig is watering the plants nearby and hasn't noticed yet. Peppa signals to George, and the two of them follow the footprints. Mummy Pig appears, holding a basket, and smiles when she sees the two children crouching down. The footprints lead to a small puddle in the garden. Peppa and George look around, feeling a little surprised. Peppa and George look down, then look at Daddy Pig. Peppa realizes the footprints are Daddy Pig's, from when he watered the garden earlier. It ends with Peppa and George laughing happily. Peppa Family Rainy Day. Peppa is dashing around, giggling with her dinosaur in hand. Despite the rain outside, Peppa and George are happily playing indoors. George is happily playing with his toy airplane. With a little imagination, the living room turns into Princess Peppa's castle, guarded by Sir George the dinosaur. Something's missing. George, come here, Peppa calls out. Oh dear, poor George. That chair is almost bigger than him. All hail King Dinosaur, ruler of the castle. Super fun swimming day. Today is a perfect day for swimming. Peppa and her family are all so excited. Oh, there are so many fun pool toys. A float shaped like a watermelon, another like a big donut. How silly and fun! Ha! George's ball decided to go swimming all by itself. What a memorable swim! Everyone is soaking wet, but they're all laughing happily. And that's how Peppa Pig's swimming day ends, with splashes, giggles, and lots of fun. One winter night, while Peppa and George are sleeping, snow begins to fall. A cold breeze wakes George up, and he calls Peppa to come outside and see the snow. The two quickly put on their warm clothes and run into the yard. To their surprise, there is a sparkling Christmas tree and a beautiful snowman. Peppa and George happily go over and build another snowman together, laughing and playing with joy. Peppa joins the singing contest. Today is a wonderful day. And Peppa is very excited because her school is holding a special singing contest. Peppa and her friends are getting ready for their performances. Everyone has their own singing style, making the atmosphere lively and fun. When it is Peppa's turn, she steps onto the stage with a big smile. The bright lights shine down, and Peppa begins to sing confidently. Peppa's song makes everyone laugh with joy. Loud applause fills the room, creating an exciting and cheerful moment. The contest ends with happiness and laughter. Peppa feels proud not only because she sang well, but also because she shared such a memorable day with her friends. One clear morning, you and I were still fast asleep. Suddenly, a friend showed up and knocked on the door. Our close friend smiled and said, "Let's go for a walk, you two." Suddenly, a mysterious object began to leak. It turned the white rabbit pink. Luckily, the strange object managed to retrieve the leaking item just in time. The Flying Hat Adventure. Hey! It's a beautiful sunny day. Peppa is showing off her new hat, and everyone agrees it looks absolutely lovely. Oh no, Peppa's hat has flown away. But don't worry, her friends are ready for a fun hat-hunting adventure. The hat seems to be playing hide and seek. It flies from the pond to the tree. and even lands on a very surprised duck. It looks like the hat doesn't want to stay still. Wherever it goes, it spreads laughter and fun. After its windy adventure, the hat is home again. And Peppa realizes the best part of the day wasn't the hat. It was sharing the fun with her friends. It's a beautiful day, and Peppa and George go to the park with Daddy Pig, bringing along their colorful new kite. Daddy Pig excitedly runs as fast as he can to make the kite fly high. But Daddy Pig suddenly trips over a rock. The kite still soars up high, but then gets stuck on the statue's ear in the park. Peppa and George look up, both surprised and giggling. A strong gust of wind blows through, pulling the kite down and covering Daddy Pig's head. He stumbles around blindly, while Peppa and George burst into fits of giggles. What was supposed to be a simple trip to the park turns into an unexpected comedy show. The wind blows stronger, making the kite slip right out of Daddy Pig's hand and swirl around in the sky. Peppa and George run after it, giggling and reaching up to catch it. Daddy Pig hurries along too, but quickly becomes out of breath.